Hallo zusammen and welcome back to me, a German native speaker and YouTuber, reacting to Die Hard and especially the German-speaking scenes in the original English version of the movie. This is an interesting ride, let me tell you, and I'm gonna be pointing out a few linguistic details, basically pointing out details that are worth noting, both in a positive and in a more, well, slightly off way. Of course, not meant negatively toward the actors in any way, shape, or form. This is mainly supposed to be a, well, language learning video for you guys. That is the whole purpose of this. So if you're up for this, feel free to watch along because we're gonna continue with the scenes here. Let's get back into this.
Was habe ich dir gesagt? Ich will, dass es keiner sieht.
Very typical for spoken German and a very good example for a difference from written to spoken German. In written German, you can find the diphthong, the vowel combination EI, quite often. In this case, it's in Ich will, dass es keiner sieht. And you may have noticed something about the way I said that. Ich will, dass es keiner sieht. So even though it's spelled EI, and you may think, well, then it has to be keiner, right? EI. It's actually not. In spoken German, you enunciate the diphthong EI as AI. Keiner, right? I. Keiner.
Ich will, dass es keiner sieht.
That is something that he did very well. I could look at Alan Rickman getting annoyed the entire day. Love it.
Ich sage es zum letzten Mal.
And once again, the Z. Ich sage es zum letzten Mal. It has to be zum. The Z at the beginning has to be sharp. Ich sage es zum letzten Mal, not zum.
Ich sage es zum letzten Mal.
Even though, quite interesting to point out here, das Summen is the humming in German. So for instance, when you think about a bumblebee, you may say something like, Die Hummel summt. The bumblebee is humming. That doesn't have anything to do with this. Just wanting to point that out here.
Ich sage es zum letzten Mal.
Even though the zum needs to be zum, the sage is perfect.
Ich sage es zum letzten Mal.
You know, that's a perfect delivery here, because there it has to be z. Ich sage. Very well done, Alan.
So einer, hat ein Maschinengewehr.
Haben Sie ihn gefunden?
Karl ist mit mir.
Haben Sie ihn gefunden? That sounded quite robotic. To be honest. The way he did it here is he enunciated every single syllable. Haben Sie ihn gefunden?
Haben Sie ihn gefunden?
A native German may say, haben Sie ihn gefunden? We basically drop the E in the suffix en in spoken German. So it's not haben or gefunden, it's haben Sie ihn gefunden. Gefunden.
Wir sind im Heizehaus mit dem Dach.
Okay. Er ist im Heizehaus unter dem Dach. Well, the German language can be quite creative when it comes to new terms, compound words most of the time. The boiler room, that would be der Heizkeller, you know, the heating basement, so to speak, or the heating room, der Heizungsraum. But Heizehaus, that doesn't really exist, even though I really love the term, to be honest. I have to listen to it again, I'm sorry.
Wir sind im Heizehaus mit dem Dach.
Ah, er ist im Heizhaus unter dem Dach. But the way he said Dach, very spot on. The throaty version here, Dach.
Wir sind im Heizehaus mit dem Dach.
Das Dach, Singular. Die Dächer, Plural. The roof. So, very well done here. Props to that.
Im Heizehaus unter dem Dach.
Wo ist Karl?
Also very, very minor detail, which may be interesting to you guys, and which is quite similar to English, and therefore it can serve as a mnemonic for you. In spoken German, Germans have a tendency to drop the T, the hard consonant T, at the end of certain terms. Especially ist. Er, sie, es ist. He, she, it is. Right? So, he said, wo ist Karl?
Wo ist Karl?
He basically really enunciated the T, which may be atypical for spoken German for the most part. Wo ist Karl? Some Germans may say, wo ist Karl? They may verbalize the T, but that's not really common though.
Karl, komm, die Polizei!
Mach los, Karl! Polizei!
So he wanted to say mach schnell, hurry up. But he said mach los. Germans may say beeil dich, you know, in an informal context for dich, you know, the informal form of address, or beeilen Sie sich for Sie being the formal form of address. That would be appropriate to say here, but mach los?
Mach los, Karl! Polizei!
But, you know, once again, you may have noticed that. Very well done. What do we have at the end of Polizei? Die Polizei, the police in German. Right. It's the aforementioned diphthong EI. And it has to be enunciated like an I. Polizei. Very well done, Karl. Or, you know, whoever that is.
Wie viele sind es?
Nur ein Mann.
All right. The answer to the question, wie viele sind es? How many are they? Is nur ein Mann. And he basically made the vowel U into an umlaut. In the umlaut Ü. Nur ein Mann. Something like that.
Nur ein Mann.
Not necessarily in combination with other vowels, but on its own. For instance, in nur, the U always remains the U. It doesn't turn into an Ü.
Machst du! Er stand 34! Geh! Schnell! 34!
Very tiny little detail, but very well done in this case once again. 34. He said it in a very typical spoken German way.
34!
First of all, in German, we say it the other way around compared to the way you would say that in English. So it's not 34, 30 und 4. It's the other way around. It's 4, 4 und 30. 4 and 30. And he said 34, vieren.
34!
So the und turns into an n sound. 34, which is very typical for spoken German. For instance, when you want to say those numbers out loud. 34.
Mach los, beweg dich an!
Wart doch mal, du brauchst...
Mach los! I mean, they're consequent in doing it wrong.
Du Vollidiot! Willst du uns alle in die Luft jagen?
Du Vollidiot! Willst du uns alle in die Luft jagen? Very interesting German term when you think about it for der Vollidiot, translating to the full idiot, literally. You know, it's basically an increased form of saying der Idiot, the idiot, der Vollidiot. Very typical for German and, you know, slang German or vulgar German.
Weiter, weiter, weiter!
Also very well done here. The ER suffix gets pronounced like an A sound. Weiter. Weiter.
Weiter! Mach schnell! Oh, mach schnell! Weiter!
Also worth pointing out here, I talked about quick or fast before, you know, schnell with a short vowel. Mnemonic for you guys. And the opposite term also gets mentioned here, which is langsam, slowly. And here we have slightly, you know, stressed or longer vowels. A, langsam. So once again, another mnemonic for this term maybe, langsam. I need to rewatch these movies.
Da, I see him!
Da, I see him. Is that Denglish? Da, I see him. There, ich sehe ihn would be the reversed version of that. For da, there. You may know the term Feuer, das Feuer. Once again, we have a diphthong, even though this time it's a different one. It's EU. And you may think, well, then it would be Feuer. But it's not. Welcome to the German language. It's Oi, like Oi Punk, you know, something like that. Feuer, das Feuer. And if you want to check out more videos like this one, learning German with movies, for instance, you know, with a German reaction, you can check out these videos right here. You can support me on patreon.com/definitely. You can find a link to that in the video description down below. Thanks for watching, everyone, and definitely see you next time. Tschüss und bis zum nächsten Mal. Bye bye.